you were offering the 14 diploma programs. A year before this audit, you were also cited for it. And you gave us indication that you were going to make sure that they were accredited. But let's go to undergraduate programs. 80 programs that are not accredited.
Mr. Chairman, it's a bit difficult for me to talk about, sort of to detach what happened in 2020 from what is going on currently, because it is an ongoing process. And as I tried to explain, after we had these audit responses, we've put in place a lot of measures. So, for instance, currently we have a total of 132 programs, or should I say we have a total of 220 programs in the whole university. We have put in place measures to ensure that all of these programs are properly accredited. Currently, we have 132 programs which are fully accredited, Madam, and this cuts across all levels.
Madam, I'm sorry that I may come across as being rude, but I'm asking a specific question. But you want to give me a PhD thesis out here. 2021, the auditors came in for the undergraduate programs. 80 of them were not accredited. I'm interested in that 80 that was not accredited. What have you done about it? The 80 that you were audited and they were not accredited.
Mr. Chairman, what we have done is put in place systems to ensure that all of these 80 programs are properly accredited.
How many of them have you gone to get the accreditation for, the 80?
Mr. Chairman, out of the 80, I would say that currently we have 60 of the undergraduate programs fully accredited, and the rest are in the process of being accredited.
Now let's go to the next one, postgraduate. You had 213 programs that were not accredited.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As part of the process, we have weeded out many programs that were no longer being offered at the University of Ghana. So as I said, we have a total of 220 programs in all. So this figure of 213 postgraduate programs, half of them probably have been taken out because they are no longer offered at the University of Ghana, and the remainder have gone through the accreditation processes or are in the process of going through reaccreditation.
Madam, all the 230 programs that you are talking about, is that the total programs that are being offered by the university now?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Can you give us a breakdown? How many of that is undergraduates? How many are postgraduates? And how many are PhD? And are they all accredited? If they are all not accredited, can you give us the numbers that are accredited per each of the programs? I mean the undergraduate, postgraduate, and the PhD.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the total figures of all programs which are either fully accredited, which are currently in the process of being accredited, and those that have been discontinued. I don't have them. So
information I'm asking for, you can't provide it?
Not by level.
But why? Why is this so? It's a simple thing to be done. I have X amount of undergraduate program. X minus Y are accredited. These are not accredited. We are in the process.
Mr.
Postgraduate, same. PhD, same. Simple.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, this would be very easy to get for you, just that I do not have it aggregated in that way in front of me at the moment. But we can do this by the close of today and get these to you.
Vice Chancellor, let me ask this question. Those programs that are not accredited by the close of the year, do you examine students on them?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. We have put in place processes to ensure that all
the question
our programs,
is, do you examine students on them?
If
a particular program is not accredited, do you examine students on them in order to issue them with certificates?
Mr. Chair, if there is a program which is not fully accredited, we have started the process. So either
Madam, I know you have started the process.
Yes.
And you will get it accredited.
Yes.
But before it is accredited, and the student is completing that course this year, do you examine that student in order to issue a certificate to that student? That's my question.
Mr. Chair, if we offered the program, then we will be obliged to examine the student.
So it means that there is possibility that a program which has no accreditation, a certificate can be issued for that program. Student can be examined and a certificate issued. Is that the case?
Mr. Chair, given the processes and the systems we've put in place now, by the time students, if there is any program like that, by the time students are actually graduating, we would have had accreditation.
I have a feeling that there are courses, programs that were not accredited, but you have issued students with certificates. I have that feeling.
That may be the past,
we are
but not
discussing
currently.
today. I might be right, I might be wrong, but that is a feeling I have.
You see, when you go to paragraph 1304, University of Ghana, you read that paragraph, it says, this may have resulted in the university issuing certificates for these non-accredited programs. The university could also face reputational challenges and the possibility of sanctions from GTEC. University of Ghana, everything is in the process. Madam Registrar, you were talking about postgraduate. So out of the 213 programs that were not accredited, how many of those programs have been accredited now?
Mr. Chairman, as I explained, I don't have that data aggregated. Sorry?
But Madam, I'm surprised. You knew you were coming to meet Public Accounts Committee. You knew these were one of your infractions. The auditors cited you for these things out here. I would have wished that you would have been prepared to answer on these questions. If not, let me go to the PhD programs. 67 of your PhD programs at University of Ghana are not accredited. How many of these have been accredited now?
Mr. Chairman, I have the total figures for accreditation, those in the process. I do not have the aggregated figures by the level of program in front of me at the moment.
Auditors, could you help us over here? Do you have any update on these accreditations, please?
Honorable Chair, we don't have any updates now.
Chairman, we haven't done anything about it.
Honorable members, let's move forward. Paragraph 1306, Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, this has to do with a software renewal that the university paid for. You paid 114,426.04 in January 2020 as the license renewal cost for the Oracle database software, but you failed to use the software. You have indicated to the auditors that currently the Oracle Audit Vault is in use, and you are taking steps to train the personnel handling the software. I need you to confirm, are you currently using the software?
Mr. Chair, yes, it's currently being used, and additional resources are being requested to enhance the skill of those using it. I'm sure the external auditors can confirm that. It's being used by the internal audit directory.
So how about the training?
The training, yes.
You've trained them enough?
At least for the basic training, but they need to enhance their skills. So additional resource will be requested to train them further. But they are currently using the software as it stands.
Have you renewed for 2021, 2022?
Yeah, we are renewed up to date, Mr. Chair.
And if the personnel involved are not really up to the task, they don't really have full control over the software, then it means you are underutilizing the software. Because the auditors recommended that at least take them through the appropriate training. And it looks like that has not been done.
They've been trained to use it as required. It's just that with every software you can enhance the skills, and that is what will be added onto them. But they are using it. Originally, they were not using it at all.
Okay.
Now
auditors, can you confirm if the software is in use and if the personnel have been trained?
Honorable Chair, the personnel has been trained to use, but they are not using it. Thank you.
Madam, so the software is not in use, but we continue to pay 114,000 cedis every year for software renewal. But you also claim that the software is in use.
Mr. Chair, that was the information relayed to me by the internal audit team.
Please try and get...
I will revalidate that.
Please do that.
Thank you.
Please do that. Chairman.
Paragraph 1311, Honorable Roxon.
Chairman, thank you very much. VC, the case again of the auditors against you is that some inadequate preparation regarding information system risk management has not been put in place. I won't bother you. 2021 observation, July 2023, what's the status?
Well, we currently have a comprehensive risk assessment system in place.
And you brought this to the attention of the auditors?
Yes, please.
Auditors, can you verify and confirm this?
Honorable Chair, verified and confirmed. Thank you.
Chairman, that will be all.
Paragraph 1317, Honorable Isaac Opoku.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, 1317 is about non-recovery of unearned salary. Chairman, one Dr. Ann Nancy Mills Thompson, he resigned from the university. She was granted study leave with pay, and she was required to serve 22 months. And from the write-up, I guess she served just about 3 months, and she was unduly paid 65,815. The recommendation is to recover the said amount. What is the update on the recovery?
Mr. Chair, we have taken the necessary steps, and this will be deducted from her pension benefits with the university. We have the Ghana University's superannuation scheme, which she contributed to, and it will be deducted from her benefits and paid up. But we haven't paid yet. It's going to be deducted and paid. So once we pay, we'll provide the details to the auditors to validate.
This is 2021 report. So why has it taken so long to pay the superannuation?
Mr. Chair, it's been very difficult to track the employee and get all information. We have been going through this for a while. That is why it has taken us so long, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And that's where we are.
All right, the last issue is on absence of approval threshold for authorization of payment. Without recourse to the Vice Chancellor, the hall managers do approve expenditures, commit the university without any limit. So the recommendation is that you set up a threshold limit. Have you done that?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So what is the limit?
It's based on the expenditure. Once it goes beyond a certain amount, the procurement process kicks in and then approval goes through. Most of the approvals go through the registrar for procurement as well.
I know, but does it mean that no hall manager can approve any expenditure now?
No, they can approve to a limit.
That is the limit I'm asking for. What is the limit to which they can approve? When you go beyond that limit, then it might come to the Vice Chancellor. What is that limit? You don't want to mention it?
I don't have that on top of my head. I don't want to conjecture. So
you always don't have it on top of your head. You are the Director of Finance.
It is better not to say 2 CDs and it's 3 CDs because you hold me to it. So let me be careful with what.
Then you are not prepared before coming to this committee.
We are prepared.
Vice Chancellor, my advice to the university is that next time you are appearing before the Public Accounts Committee, prepare very well. As an university. We are also a small university on our own.
Well noted, Mr. Chair.
Please prepare before you come. We are members of Parliament, but we have professions, and we are well versed in our areas. And most of them, I was at the University of Ghana. Most of them were all there. I was at the best university, UPSA. Well, there is one public interest question from Honorable Apak.
Very well, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to know from the Vice Chancellor if Ghana Hostels Limited is owned by the University of Ghana or jointly owned by the University of Ghana and some private entity.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. It's privately owned.
Does it mean that the University of Ghana has no say with regards to what rent is charged by this private company as far as student accommodation is concerned?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, it's a privately owned hostel by SNIT. And the university does not determine the charges by private hostel owners.
Very well. Chairman, I think this will suffice, but I want to add that we have seen a document in the public space which indicates the cost of rent for the 2023-24 academic year. And Ghanaians are shocked and enraged given the quantum of monies that students are expected to pay for accommodation. Whilst the Vice Chancellor is clearly not responsible, I think they should call for a national dialogue on the provision of affordable accommodation for our students in the various universities as well as other tertiary institutions. To expect students to be paying 24,000 Ghana cedis for what is described as a room with air condition and 10,000 Ghana cedis for a room without air condition, small size. I don't know how many parents can afford that. So I think we should take a serious interest as far as academic accommodation is concerned for our students. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It says private.
All right, so Vice Chancellor, we want to thank you for coming. As I said earlier on, there are a lot of issues that you have not responded to. We want you to go back and work on them. The auditors will come there to verify and give us an update that will enable us to write our report to the plenary for debate. And we want to advise that next time, please prepare well before you come. Just respond to the issues raised by the auditor and let the auditors know. And when you come here, we'll just go through and discharge you in no time. So thank you very much. You are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members.
Let's University of Development Studies. University for Development Studies.